Hi, I'm Dr. Terry Simpson. As a weight loss surgeon, I think a lot about obesity. I wonder, what is the cause? Is it just that people are eating the wrong things and too many calories? Which is it? The wrong thing or too many calories? Or is it both? I want to tell you about an experiment that was done with genetically identical mice. Those mice were fed the exact same amount of mouse kibble. I didn't know there was such a thing, but there is. So the same number of calories. And the difference was that the one set of mice were given in their water an ingredient called polysorbate 80, which is an emulsifier commonly found in our foods. The other mice weren't. At the end of several months, the mice that had the polysorbate 80 were obese. The other mice were not. When they were examined by autopsy, you can imagine, what were those shows, Dr. Quinn, autopsy? He's doing this autopsy on a little mouse. They had an inflammatory condition and metabolic syndrome set up in their livers and in their guts, and different bugs in their guts. It wasn't just the microbiome of the gut that made them fat, because when they fed polysorbate 80 to a group of mice that were sterile in their gut, they didn't have obesity. So it was a combination of the mice and that ingredient, the mice bugs and that ingredient. So think about that for a second. If obesity is more than just calories in, calories out, but setting up this inflammatory condition in the gut to where people, what they eat gets stored predominantly as fat instead of used as energy, it can explain a lot about some of my patients who say this is all they're eating and yet they are gaining weight. It could explain that the wrong things may not be the wrong things we classically think about, but that we set it up such that you're going to become obese. Your body will go into fat storage mode. It's not the thyroid, it's still what you eat, but the things that are in your food may affect you. Well, they certainly do with mice, and I think it's an interesting exercise to consider. And what's interesting also is when our patients are successful at weight loss surgery, they have changed what they eat. They eat more fruits, they eat more vegetables, they eat less foods that might likely contain these ingredients. When our patients are not successful at weight loss surgery, we're talking after 5 years, they're eating a lot of those processed foods that contain those ingredients. Calorie content between the two of them? Actually, it's pretty close. So it's not only the calories, it's what you eat that may contribute to why your body is storing fat and why that skinny sister-in-law doesn't. Interesting stuff to think about. All in all, what it says is the same thing that we have been saying all along. Success after weight loss surgery happens in your kitchen. It happens when you learn to cook food and don't let other people prepare it for you. Go ahead. Make the venture into the kitchen. We'll be happy to help.